Hello, Ghost Hunters! Phasmophobia's Apocalypse update just went live. I've got all the details up next. Let's start with the big stuff. This update included the custom difficulty. I was pretty excited to check things out without having to worry about walking slow or losing my items, but I will say, this felt very confusing. From saving my preferred custom presets to changing things in the preset, I never knew if I was getting what I asked for or not. I prefer a more professional feeling investigation, but I do enjoy the hunt of Nightmare. And I love my cursed possessions, but adding more of them means that you lose difficulty multiplier. Having cursed possessions at all, though, seemed useless on the new maps, as I wasn't able to find any of the cursed possessions despite extensive efforts. The option for a friendly ghost also exists, which seems like it could be interesting, although using this means you won't get any rewards. Saving presets, editing presets, applying presets? Well, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, so if I'm struggling, certainly others are as well. Hopefully this gets cleaned up a bit in the future so it's easier to understand. Next, we have the new shop for adding items, saving loadouts, and selling equipment back to the shop. If you manage to head out to a contract without any items in the van at least once, hit that like button, because I know I can't be the only one. In fact, I already know I'm not, as I've seen several people say that the item loadout is, well, out of sight, out of mind. I spent many a contract with just starter items on accident. And well, this whole buying what you need thing just seemed confusing. I'm pretty sure I bought thousands of dollars worth of equipment and added it to the van on accident on several occasions. So it's feast or famine with the tools. As for these new menus, well, I can't say I love them. Sure, they're pretty, but they don't feel functional at all. Click here, then click there, then click here, and then maybe you start. Or you click here, press escape, click here, vote, press escape, and then go over here and maybe add equipment and then back to the board and ready up. But if someone votes after you, you get to ready up again. There's gotta be a better way to do this. As for the new lobby, it certainly is a step up, but I'm gonna miss Patient 7 jump scaring me at the door. I also like the trophy case, but I'm not sure how exactly these are supposed to work. While we don't have trophies yet, although supposedly soon, the collection of bones and cursed possessions don't seem to translate from one game to the next. My teammate used a voodoo doll in his game, but the voodoo doll wasn't in his trophy case. I collected several bones and used multiple cursed items, but then they disappeared the next time I made a lobby. While this seemed like an interesting idea, it doesn't really fit with Phasmophobia in my personal opinion. This feels like they're trying to copy what other games have done, and it's not really working for them. Okay, so let's talk about the new maps. Before we get to Sunny Meadows, a new campsite was added called Camp Woodwind. As for the map size, I don't know if they could have made it much smaller. This is truly a tiny map, which is why I was so flummoxed with the cursed possessions. Finding the ghost was easy, as you pretty much know where it is the moment you step out of the van because, well, it doesn't get much smaller than this. Sunny Meadows, however, was huge. This map definitely is a lot bigger than I had anticipated. I will say that the new interactable items like the crosses, the bell, and the alarm clocks are a nice touch. Also, this map feels like finding a hiding spot should be fairly easy, even if I did die in most of my games. But Phasmophobia added in some changes to the sounds with this update, and well, it makes this map lose a bit of its charm. I've often said that your best tool is your ears, and I kinda feel like we've lost our best tool now. I prefer not to use push to talk, but my teammate's more than a room or two away, and I have to use push to talk to be heard. Also, I'm not hearing all these extra ghost interactions that should be happening with items. While I did hear one or two environmental sounds that definitely made this place feel special, I felt like we were mostly alone. I would also like to point out that either our ghosts wander a lot, or we're getting random EMF readings all over the place. I do like that Sunny Meadows Restricted allows players to still play this map, albeit a smaller version of the map. Each time players choose to play Sunny Meadows Restricted, they'll get a random part of the map to investigate, while the remainder of the map is closed off. I'll have more in-depth discussion about this update in my upcoming Monday video, but there are a few changes you should know right now. First, photos have been changed so that you get paid for photographing dots evidence, crucifixes in both states of use, salt pile when a ghost steps in it, and you won't be able to use the camera for fingerprint evidence unless you're willing to take at least 2 photos. the interaction will always get photographed first. So to get the fingerprints, you'll need to take a second photo. Players can now report others, and bans are progressive from 2 days to permanent. When playing the Sunny Meadows map, doors to each individual area will lock during hunts, so you won't be able to escape the ghost area should you be near it when it starts its hunt. The key in the truck has been moved from the desk to the van door, and there's now more variety in dailies, and there's also been added weeklies. Have you played the new update? What do you think of the new maps? Are there other things you thought were interesting that I didn't mention in this video? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, I'll have a more in-depth video about this major update on Monday, so check back then to catch that. And as always, I'll have my daily short, which will mostly be covering Phasmophobia while I'm trying out the new update. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, happy hunting. First, photos have been changed so that you get paid for photographing. Okay. Hello, ghost hunters. Phasmophobia's Apocalypse. What the hell's Apocalypse?